Let's talk about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, Season 9, Episode 5. There's no place like home.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my listening reviews. All of y'all who have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie Advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old Auntie Advice.
90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. 90 Day Fiance Hunt for Love. 90 Day Fiance the other way. 90 Day Fiance the UK has gotten extremely boring. It's almost as if we can write these plot lines ourselves. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Hi, everybody, and this is Auntie. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. So we're going to start this episode off with Yara and Chow Lauren. So we have discovered in this episode that, well, no, we discovered this season that it is Yara's intention to start a dog accessory business. I believe that must be including bags, necklaces, etc., etc. One of the criticisms that her husband had for her was that she did not own a pet, but she was purchasing, or selling things to people who own a pet. And Yard decided that this episode she would buy a dog as an accessory because her husband was like, you don't even have a pet. So she goes out and she buys a dog. Now I'm very curious as to whether or not Yara still even has that dog. I felt some kind of way about it because I have always been a dog owner, and I know what it is to love an animal because you love an animal, not because that animal is a justification or a reason why or something to solidify you buying it. I ain't got it to do, boo. I ain't got it to do. I was very disheartened about it because she barely can take care of her daughter. And then she has the audacity to go and get a dog just to say she got one. Y'all felt some kind of way about it, right? And maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. I really could be. But yeah. Welcome, Regina. Welcome to the membership. Welcome to the family. Welcome, beloved. If y'all please take the opportunity, if you have not already done so, to welcome her to the membership. Welcome, beloved. Welcome. So, she gets this, this dog. She names it kind of like her daughter, Milo. And, of course, her husband is probably going to be the one taking care of the dog. So she hooks up with Lauren, and she uses Lauren as a photographer. And Lauren does not know how to take pictures. She is cutting off Yara's head. The product is not displayed in a way in which someone will want to buy it or even be interested in it, right? And so, we're just going through the motions right now with Yara and this pet project. Okay, no pun intended. That she's starting. The two of them sit down and they have a conversation, and Lauren starts talking about her relationship with her husband and how having these three boys, she feels tired all the time. Now, we all know that Lauren wanted to have these boys. And so, she has these boys and everything, and it's too much for her. And her husband has told her basically that she needs to be, more sexy. Um, Here's where I'm with it, right? I think that, a lot of times when moms are, have little young kids, especially when they are stair-stepped or back to back, as you will, they don't realize, number one, how much work goes into it. The husband doesn't realize how much work goes into it, either. He did when she had the surgery, but I guess he's like, okay, you've recovered and now it's back to business. They don't understand, right, how to, some moms, okay, and I'm saying some moms before y'all be cussing me out in the comment section, don't realize that your husband still wants you to be attractive. He still wants you to spruce yourself up, right? And I think that oftentimes a lot of women think that it takes a whole lot to be spruced up. It doesn't. And, so I don't know whether or not I am ready to criticize him on that. I've talked to a lot of women, had a lot of women friends, maybe some of you all had it, and they, try to carve out that special time for their husbands. And so, while Lauren is looking at a negative, and Yara said, I thought they had the perfect relationship. Just because he's asking for that doesn't mean that their relationship isn't perfect for them. I think that a lot of this stuff is fabricated for views and stuff like that. So like, I just won't feel nothing about it. The next couple I want to talk about is Darcy and her husband. I mean, is it Darcy? Yes, Darcy. Is it Darcy, y'all? Yes, Darcy. I always get Darcy and Stacy mixed up. Of course, she's going to see his family, and he has talked to her multiple times about her attire. This is very important to him. He has indicated that he hasn't told them a lot about her, that they figure that he is happy, he ain't complaining, so they happy, right? But she feels like he's hiding something. I don't. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat. Oh my goodness. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat. Do y'all think he's hiding anything? Oh, let me catch up. Do y'all think he's hiding anything? I don't think that he's hiding anything. I think maybe he said that his dad does intelligence, right? I The woman is over the top. Her cosmetic surgery and everything is just completely and absolutely over the top. And she doesn't listen, but she says she does. But under her fur coat, she still had on, like, for me, I'm thinking if he is telling me that I need to tone it down, I don't have a problem with toning it down. I think she wears bed attire anyway. She is forever Frederick's Hollywood. She measures herself, or measured herself in this particular episode. She measured herself by raising girls or raising kids. So, of course, she gets into an argument with him. She is walking down the yellow brick road with red bottoms on and can barely make it to the restaurant. Like everything about her, like I said, is over the top and just inappropriate. And this woman is absolutely, y'all, and I mean, like, seriously, she is absolutely too old to be acting this way. The next couple that I want to talk about, um, I gotta really get my mind together, y'all, because my mind is somewhere else. Julia. So we know from the various shows that the two of them have been on that Julia has not been wanting a baby, because when she was in Russia, she was told that she could not have a baby. Her husband, of course, Brandon, wants to have one. And so one of the agreements that they have made on a prior show that they were on, one of the agreements that they have made is that she will get a second opinion. Last week we saw Brandon's mom and dad there making matters worse. Julia is trying to honor her promise to Brandon that she would get this second opinion, right? So we see the two of them at the beach with their friends. And of course, one of the friends has a baby. And I'm going to tell you, babies are cute, especially when you can send them to another home. At this age, right? I'm ready for grandkids, but having a kid of my own that's going to live with me 24/7, I'm buying formula, going to doctor's appointments, getting them to walk and baby proofing the house and changing diapers and daycare, and elementary school, and all, like, oh my God, I can't even imagine that at this age. Some people love it. You love it, to the point that you can, right? Because it's something you have to do. I think that, especially being a single mom, for me, it was just doing what I had to do. I love my baby. But the years just fly by, right? You got summer activities, extracurricular activities after school, you got tutoring, you got to balance your life, right? Your job, your employment. Oh my God, like it's a lot. And Brandon wants this in his life. So they're having a great time, with the baby. They're having a conversation. The other guy that was there, I can't think of what his name is. He was saying that he doesn't, he doesn't want kids. Brandon is saying the baby is so cute. Yeah, they cute when you hold them and all of that. Yeah, they real cute. But like I said, they're cuter, honey. Where you can hand them back to somebody else and go on about your merry little way. I think that that's one of the things that Julia was, kind of fighting with. I know I would have been. But in this particular episode, we kind of saw her real hard. That her saying for all the years that we've known them that she didn't want a baby was out of fear. That she really did, excuse me, y'all. She really did want a baby. She really does want a baby. But being told, right, that your body, as a nurse said, your body's not functioning in a way that you can control it, causes you, or may cause some women to feel like I'm just going to give up on it. And anytime you bring it up as a defense of how much I really do want this or how much I'm in fear about this, I'm going to show you anger. I'm going to be irritated with you because I don't want to deal with the fact that something that I've desired has been taken from me by, through one exam. Julia has been wanting a baby the whole entire time. And she feels afraid. So her and Brandon, so she finally, after being with the baby and the couple at the beach, she finally makes a decision that she's going to go and get this second opinion. And anybody who knows or has had any kind of scare, you know that, going through the process of going to the gynecologist to check for anything, it is scary. And I'm just going to be all the way. Well, it is very scary. Back in the day, right? I'm gonna share this little story and then I'm gonna move on. But back in the day, I had told you all I had gotten pregnant when I was later in life. I was like, oh bitch. And after I had the baby, I started having like different things that was going on with my cycle. And I didn't know what was going on. I was going to the gynecologist, all that kind of stuff. Of course, I miscarried the baby. I think that I've told a lot of you all before, all of y'all that's new. I never talk, you don't know anything about it, but I miscarried that baby at 5 months. And of course, I did not even consider having another baby, but I started going through menopause. And before I went to the doctors and was diagnosed that that's what I was in. And I'm not talking about peri, I'm talking about menopause. Um, I was going back and forth through to the doctors because they thought that I had possibly had ovarian cancer. And going into the doctor, preparing yourself to have that sonogram, the what ifs, the oh my God, the what am I going to do is so scary. So when Julia was going through there, I'm sure that there were a lot of you all who could relate to what it feels like to go to an OBGYN and, lay there and have that ultrasound, sonogram, whatever it is, right? You got to make sure your bladder full and all of that. And then, they pressing and probing and all of that. And I was glad that Julia did go through that and that her husband was right there to hold her hand. So, he redeemed himself for about an hour for me because he was right there with her. And it is important to when you're going through things like that, right? To have your partner with her. So she went through the young lady came in and told her, what she was going to be doing. And her and Brandon had a little laugh with the scope that she was using, of course, to go in, to do this procedure. And I like the way that the lady sat down and really talked to her, both her and Brandon, because she's scared. She started crying. And for the first time, I felt like I connected with her on some level because she's been off the hook doing a whole lot of reckless stuff, in my opinion. And to see this vulnerability, I really felt like, okay, on this, I can connect with her. I completely felt connected. I don't know how you all felt. I don't have my glasses on purpose, but I just was like, this is something that a lot of women go through. Infertility, the thought of it, going through the process. A lot of women go through, I have some friends who are going through IVF now. to have a baby. And so I was just glad that she finally let her guard down and said, you know what, this is what I want. I've been scared. I trust my husband now. I really do desire to have a baby. This is my opinion. Now, maybe she don't want no baby. Okay, maybe the whole time she's been talking, she hasn't wanted a baby. But in my opinion, Julia has always wanted to have a baby. But anyway, so she goes through the procedure, and while she's in there looking at her, right? Because you're always looking at the monitor, and they'll point things out, and be pressing the button, taking pictures, and all of that kind of stuff, right? She told her that she saw a polyp in her uterus, right? And so, Julia was like, what is a polyp? And so she told her what it was and everything, right? And for me, as you all know, I go through regular screenings of colon for my colon, right? Because colon cancer runs in my family. And when you wake up from that colonoscopy, even though it's not like that, right? But when they say polyp, the first thing you think, is it cancerous? And so I am just praying that it's not. I don't know if uterine polyps are the same thing, but I know that they usually do a biopsy on any polyp. Let me look in the comment section and see if anybody else know what I'm talking about. Let me see. You right about that. You absolutely right about that. I think so too. I agree. Oh, okay. What did he say? Both of those. I agree. So when a woman said polyp, I was like, okay, I'm sure that they probably gonna do a biopsy on that to make sure that it's not cancerous. And then she said that she had something else. I can't remember what it was. And Julia was like, nobody ever told me this. When I was in Russia, they didn't tell me it was a polyp. And polyps can be removed, right? They're going to have to remove it. And I can't remember what the second thing was that they said, that they found when they went in. And I was like, oh my God, like she really, is getting information that maybe the clinic or the doctor that she went to before didn't have the technology, right, to see all of this stuff. And that's why thank you. Yes, it was an adhesion. Thank you so much. It's just Katie. Welcome, boo. And so, it's very important it's very important, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm speaking specifically to the ladies. It's important who your GYN is. It's important who your doctors are, your heart, your cardio doctors. It's important, for all of that stuff. Oncology, like your doctors are important. If you find yourself, with a doctor who gives you a negative diagnosis, always go and get a second and third opinion. Always do it. Because what one doctor can't do, God can bless the hands of another doctor who can. And they just may have the technology that you need in order to live a better life. Okay. Now, that's my public service announcement. Don't be afraid to change your doctor. If your doctor is not suiting your need, like I had to change mine. My old doctor was there when I was pregnant. But I outgrew her because she just wasn't a good fit for me being an old Hagatha Christie. I needed somebody that could solve a couple of mysteries for me. It's okay. It is okay. So anyway, Julia, now they're going to be doing some more tests. They've done some blood work and they're going to bring her back. And hopefully we will get good news from Julia because I truly do believe that she has always wanted to give Brandon a baby, because every time he would say something to her about having a baby, she would give him hell to pay. The next couple that I want to talk about is Tiger Lily and Adnan. No, so in this particular episode, he is on his way to meet her parents. And Tiger Lily is saying that, he wants her father's acceptance, and she's not sure whether or not he is going to get that from him. And I'm like, okay, I mean, whatever. So they meet and everything, and they're going out to dine. This is Adnan's first time having American, well, no, not American food, but barbecue. Of course, because of his religion, he cannot eat pork, but he did end up getting some barbecue. I did not like when he was at the buffet bar. That's why I don't like buffets. He was at the buffet bar and he picked up the butter, took the lid off the butter, smelled it, and put it back. I was done, 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 done. That was so nasty. I hate when people do not know how to act at a buffet bar. It's so germy. You using the same spoon, fork right behind people. You don't know if they white, they Irish or not. You just don't like. Oh my goodness. She is pretending to be somebody else, right? And now she's about to pretend, and she's going to change her religion. Tiger Lily is so fake. This girl is so fake. So we meet the parents and they start having a question about religion. And one of the questions that they were having about the religion was the fact that Adam was saying that there's too many Bibles. That the Bibles are different in X, Y, and Z. And so they were saying, well, how can we, does the Quran have anything? The mother was trying to say that I have, different tools and stuff like that I use in order to learn my religion. And Adam was like, it's just too many interpretations and all that kind of stuff, right? And I agree with him on some of it, right? Because I do believe that you got to be careful about what Bible you pick up. But I do think that it is beneficial to a lot of people because the people learn at different levels. There's some people who can read the King James version of the Bible, right? I'm talking about the Bible that that I use, or whatever. Uh, 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 there are people who could read the King James and understand it. At one time, I that's all I really knew, right? And I would have a concordance, right? But then they start bringing out the New Kings International. I mean, the New Kings, um, the Message, like if there are a lot of Bible, but everybody learns differently, and I think that is the beauty of it. The beauty of it is that that Bible has been interpreted, and yes, it is written by different people. There are different because I don't really want to get into it, but I'm going to say enough because I didn't like how he characterized it. I frankly have been reading the Bible for golly, let's just say 45 years. I love the Messenger Bible. But that is not the Bible that I would use, right, to preach a sermon. That's just on me. My old church used the new New International Version, I think, the NIV. You pick up a book and you read it at your level, where you are, what it is that you need. He's saying that there are helpful tools to help you understand the Quran, but it only has the one version. I don't know. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section. What if you are abreast of the Quran and if there are other versions. I just thought that it was very interesting, um his take on it, and it just came off so negative. And he doesn't get corrected. And I think that that is one of the things that I don't like about Tiger Lily and Anna, because she never corrects her husband. The father had mentioned about him being upset, about the, people being able to see her belly. And instead of correcting him or being corrected or feeling the correction, she jumps in and justifies it. I like when my husband protects me. I feel protected. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. This is one of the couples I just you know what, y'all, I'm telling you, I just don't like it, because I don't even know if Tiger Lily who Tiger Lily is. Um I think that she will change into anything to be with a man. If she got to turn into a clown, she'll be a clown to have a man. Because I think Tiger Lily thinks, wait a minute, hold on, let me verify this before I hold on. Let me ask Bestie. Hold on. Let me check this before I say it. So I looked it up and it says Tiger Lily Taylor Nee Marco, who appears on 90 Day Fiance, is mixed. Her mother is Japanese while her father is Australian and Native American descent. She describes this heritage herself during an Instagram Q&A. She's half Japanese and half Australian and Native American. But in my opinion, she wants you to believe she's totally something different. Okay. Wrap yourself up. Do whatever you want to do, Tiger Lily. The first thing you got to do is be real with who you are, period, point blank, and then to the food. She has this third baby by him. She's not going to raise any of her other children, right? Under his religion, but she's going to do this baby in herself. Like I can't, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's so much stuff that I would like to say about Tiger Lily, but I know some people will get in their feelings and be offended and think I'm talking about them, and I ain't been more talking about them. I'm talking about Tiger Lily, but they'll take that on for themselves. Okay. The last couple that I want to talk about is Jasmine and Gino. Gino is playing in our face. Do y'all look at and see the number of times that Gino is laughing? Jasmine can keep a straight face and play the game that she wants to be back with Gino. Gino can't play the same game. This is the most, like, Gino is ignorant. And that's me being nice. And I hope that you all see the effort that I am making and taking to be nice. This bull crap about Gino wanting a divorce from Jasmine, wanting to be separated from Jasmine, not holding off on a divorce until the recession passes, doesn't want to pay alimony, mad she was in a relationship before, she tricked him. This is all fake. This is the fakest storyline. Matt being upset because Jasmine jumps when Gino calls. That is in the script. For Gino to sit down, and I know I'm all over the place, but I'm just talking. For Jasmine to sit in a nail shop and says that Matt is her Google girlfriend, that he waits for her, he's getting his feet done and all that kind of stuff, trying to play it to the left, like this is her Google girlfriend, and that there is not a serious relationship going on between her and Matt. For Matt to sit there, and y'all correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I'm open to be corrected. For Matt to sit there and act as if he has feelings for Jasmine prior to Jasmine being pregnant, that he is frustrated with both her and Gino on how they are handling the situation, I ain't got this to do. Gino meets with her. He meets with his brother, I mean his cousins, and the wife is sitting there, and he tells them that he thinks that Jasmine was cheating before based on some phone records that Gino has. The cousin's wife sits there and says, I don't believe it because I've been out with the two of them, and Jasmine discusses you. That's what Jasmine's supposed to do. Then she goes and meets Gino, who comes in and asks her, why hasn't she moved? If she really cared for him, why would she still be living with Matt after 4 months? What the what? 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 How's she gonna do this way? First of all, you put her out. Second of all, Gino, you know Jasmine ain't got no money to maintain an apartment. He's playing games and wasting my time. Like he is straight up playing in my face. Gino doesn't want Natalie. He just wants to be on the show. Do y'all remember that Gino used to work? I don't know why I want to say that Gino used to work at IT. He quit his job when Jasmine came here to marry him. Remember, y'all? Wanting to have more time with her, yet spending less time with her, won't even drive her back and forth. And like, this was a hot ass mess, okay? Gino wants to be on 90 Day Fiance till the day he die. And if he's got to clown around and play in my face, I'm going to say my face because maybe y'all believe this storyline. I don't believe it for a minute. I don't believe that Matt has any feelings for Jasmine. I think that he got caught up. He was having fun with her, probably her and other women, and she f***ed around and got pregnant. And I really believe that Jasmine had that baby as an anchor. That's my opinion about this couple. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section if you see this differently, but I don't. I see this baby as an anchor baby. Period. I think that Jasmine on purpose got pregnant because she sure didn't ever get pregnant by Gino. Now Gino's sitting there and interrogating her and telling her and asking her why she has now moved out of Matt's house. Is she intimate with Matt? How many times is she talk about like a man that loves his wife, that cares anything about her, don't want to know none of that because he can't even swallow what his woman is doing, let alone sit there and listen to it. Jasmine has the sense to deny. We know she lying when she said that he like a bestie. Girl, stop. But she is being smart about it because she's playing this role that she wants to be back with Gino. Gino tells her that he not only kissed her, but it was passionate and he basically loved it. And Jasmine's like, after 3 days of meeting someone, spending your money, because we all remember Gino's past. Ain't none of us forgot Gino's past. We just have it. They are playing in our face. They don't have no issues with each other. They best friends. Gino allowed her to get over here and have it. Like Gino says that she tricked him, hoodwinked him, and bamboozled him. But the last time we had a conversation about it, y'all, I broke that all the way down. Nobody hoodwinked him. He had men on the cast who was telling him not to do this. We've already had that discussion. But they're going to keep drawing it out year after year. We got to see these dumb. So he has told his cousins that he's going to bring Natalie to meet them. For what? If I was Natalie, I wouldn't even be willing to meet them right now. I'm not in a relationship with him. We're just dating. And I don't know how you all feel about dating, but dating does not mean I'm going to meet your family. This is a hot mess. Tomorrow I will be doing my review of 90 Day Hunt for Love. That was a hot mess. And I'm going to tell you right now, honey, Tiffany did not like Jay one bit. And I could not believe that brother. And I'm going to go ahead on and say it. And y'all can be mad until you get glad and we get together tomorrow. But that brother was extremely, extremely aggressive with Tiffany. He was so aggressive with Tiffany that my mouth fell on the floor. And I'm telling you, it is not much that they can do to shock me, but that shocked me with that brother's aggression. And that's my opinion on that. That was way too much. She didn't see it coming. She didn't welcome it. He had already saw that she had an apprehension. What was his fucking point? Excuse me, because I've been trying to get through these reviews and stop cursing. What was his point? We would have had an issue. They would have had to stop filming. I would not have been able to sit through that as Tiffany did. I'm telling you right now, I would have went off and I would be looking at TLC to file some daggone charges. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. Wait a minute, what you saying? He talked on another content. You must be new because I don't like nobody's content creator's name in my page, but I'm gonna let that go. But I ain't gonna bring it up on my screen. That he set his boundaries to people, and on Between the Sheets they said he told people not to talk to the 90-day folks. Then this happens. Jay sucks, period. He wants to set his own boundaries but not respect anyone else's. And let's be clear on that, D-Man Johnson the third. Thank you so much for letting me know that in the chat. He doesn't want to respect a woman's boundaries. Because that's what we saw through that aggression. You talking about playing a game, and next thing you know, you all up on me. He'd have had some issues. I thought it was utterly disgusting. It shocked me so much, y'all. I turned it off because it was my intention to do both of the reviews tonight, but I had to turn that off. That's how much that bothered me. He saw that Tiffany wasn't feeling him. She was not feeling him. And I don't care what excuse he made. It was fucking inappropriate in my opinion. Now, some other people may feel differently, but in my opinion, he'd have had some issues with me and production. And they're going to talk about some, where am I at? Am I number one? What the? This ain't a off of a kiss. And then you got a pea head. He would have had an issue. Tiffany handled that like a woman who don't want to take him down, who didn't want to make an issue out of it, who really, you can tell the way she acted, it didn't even register. Because women, y'all know when we have had encounters with men that have been uncomfortable, like it don't register real quick. It take it a while for you to register. Like, what's happening? Like, what? Like, like really? It's you know, you at a wait a minute, what just happened? Like, you gotta process it. I ain't like it. I didn't like it at all. And for D Man to say that he got boundaries, okay, okay. And again, these are my opinions. May not be actual, may not be factual, but it's my opinion and I'm entitled to it. Anyway, y'all, I'ma hop on off of here. I thank you all so much for being here. If you're gonna be on a late night in about another 20 minutes, I will be back out and having a conversation with Nisha from the 1,000-pound roomies. There's some things that happened and transpired, like around 5 o'clock this morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning. And Nisha and I are going to be talking about that and clearing the air. So anyway, stick around. Turn your notification bells on so that when I go live, you go live with me. And oh my goodness, thank you so much, Yolanda, for the $9.99 super chat. I went today for a biopsy. I have 6 nodules on each side of my throat. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. They ain't gonna be benign. They gonna be benign, Yolanda. We believe in God for that. And thank you so much, Regina, so much for joining the membership. I love y'all. We're going to be praying with you, Yolanda. We're going to be praying with you, not for you, with you. Oh, my goodness. Y'all have a great night on purpose. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in the street and in the water.